Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hello everyone. Good morning. Allow me to introduce myself. My name is Berita Mambarasinehe, and I would like to introduce the research about English teachers' obstacles on social media during COVID-19 outbreak, solution and teacher studies. And for the writers of the research are me myself, Berita, Nur Azmi Rohimajaya, William Hemer, Dini Fitriani, Lady Nurleli. We are from STK IPS Budi Rangkas Bitung, Universitas Matlaul Anwar, Universitas Sultan Ageng Tirtayasa, STK IP Kusuma Negara Jakarta, Universitas Sultan Ageng Tirtayasa. Introduction. Learning technologies are considered as one of the primary tools that generally provide a good learning environment for learners, and it is a significant part of the educational system and its process. It contributes to perceive the concepts, experience, and knowledge that is necessary for the students. In general, the more the selections of learning technologies is appropriate, the better promotion of education service offered to students. An additional education advantage of social media application is that they foster collaboration given that they offer teachers and students a single destination where they can bring their ideas together, examine them with their college and publish in a way that be credited. Taking into account all these benefits, we strongly believe that social media could be used as valuable educational tools capable of enriching the learning experience, according to Faizi. Method. This study employs qualitative research to fully describe teachers' obstacles based on English teachers' experience for 4 months. The sample was 10 English teachers of senior high school in Lebak, Regency, Banten Province, Indonesia. The instrument used is interview through WhatsApp video calling since this pandemic is prohibited to meet each other. The teachers start teaching in March until June for even semester doing distance teaching during COVID-19 outbreak. Result and discussion. In this section, the researcher discussed the result of the study questions. The interview data gained by doing interview to some English teachers through video calling and WhatsApp. The authors gave some questions and they answered. And we provide 5 questions for the interviewee. And here is the result that we make an interview with the teachers, with the 10 teachers. For the first, according to teachers, that the teachers are confused and shocked about the situation because they must stay at home, giving or transfer the knowledge from home. And for the second, some teachers use Rumah Belajar, Google Meet, WhatsApp, and Zoom. And then the problem here, signal, a credit, and handphone. And some teachers do calling student, visiting home, and giving student long time for submitting tasks. And from the 10 teachers say that they are appropriate with WA or WhatsApp group because according to their opinions that WhatsApp is very easy to send video, to send a picture, and it's easy to use. All the English teachers in Lebak Regency were offline class users, and when COVID-19 outbreak happened in March, and there was an instruction that all school was closed, and teachers did working from home, and students did studying from home. All the teachers were shocked and helpless with this situation. They cannot do nothing except doing distance learning with all the risks. The government proposed Rumah Belajar and Google Meet application, but it didn't work well because some obstacles were coming when used them. The obstacles came from teachers and students, and teachers had their own ideas to run the e-learning by using WhatsApp, even though it had some obstacles to use it, but at least WA provides teacher and students easiness. And here we address issues surrounding teaching obstacles during COVID-19 by using social media from English teachers' experience shared through interview. The first, tools. The tools of e-learning were a very important role to make change in learning methods and for improving quality education. A tool used was smartphone. Smartphone is a tool for remote learning used by the teachers in Lebak Regency, Banten, Indonesia. But in running the learning, they found many obstacles that not all students have smartphones because their parents live under poverty. From the data gathered, their parents have money just for fulfill their living costs in minimum fund. In that condition, parents sometimes must borrow the smartphone to their relatives, and this problem influenced the student performance in completing the task, which was always very late. 2. Credit. According to teachers' stories that when the students have smartphone, of course, it must be supported by the credit to turn on the internet. And many students had handphone, but they didn't have any credits for their phones to run the internet. Then these obstacles often happen to the students, but teachers try to call them whether to their parents' phone or to the students and told them about the completing task. 3. Data connection and poor signal. When the students had smartphone and credit for internet, unfortunately it was not supported by data connection as signal was poor. Most of the students in Lebak Regency stayed in remote area because the signal was data connection and signal difficult to reach. Students must struggle to connect the internet and got signal by going to another village with a signal available there, and it was time to do that. And by this situation, teachers kindly give a longer time to submit a task with 1 times to 24 hours. The teachers did home visits for those who got trouble on data connection and signal. 4. Motivation. Motivation is the desire to act in service of a goal. Teachers found the students' motivation was up and down. The students who had good motivation in doing remote learning, they submitted the task on time. And for students who had less motivation, they submitted the test very late, even though they had handphone, credit, and good data connection and signal. But teachers still accepted the task by giving suggestions and advice to build that motivation as always, because the duty of teachers was not only transfer the knowledge, but also educate students well. For students who had low motivation, some teachers went to students' house to take their task or home visit. There, they meet parents and students. 5. Anxiety for teachers. Distance teaching influenced teachers' psychology since they knew most of the students live in a village and they were not coming from rich family, because the distance teaching didn't run well as happened in the classroom or face-to-face learning. Feeling anxiety and helpless became spirit when they realized that they had big responsibility to the students to be the best person in the future. 6. Time spent for learning new application. Google Meet or Google Classroom, Zoom, Rumah Belajar were media that could be used for e-learning, but those media discourage teaching since many considerations taken regarding to the student's condition. So, the life of those media, teachers were asked to use this and they must learn them well and spend time to do that because e-learning went regularly and some teachers didn't want was much time to learn new application. They used fast and easy application that was very common on smartphone, that was WhatsApp group. The discouraging social media in remote learning, it didn't mean that those teachers are stopping teaching. They have a good heart to keep motivating their students through social media by trying many applications. They keep moving to raise their students up in remote learning. They do not want their students to be left behind. From some English teachers' experience in applying several social media such as WhatsApp group, Rumah Belajar, Google Meet or Google Classroom, Zoom. And from those applications, the English teachers of Senior High School of Lebak Regency, Banten, Indonesia, applied WhatsApp group as a solution in remote learning since WhatsApp had special features and easy application to be used on smartphone. WhatsApp provides service for text and audio messaging, free voice calls, and exchanging photos or videos, and even for sharing of limited types of documents. But the main advantage of WhatsApp is its easiness for expanding the user base. When installing it, one can virtually reach all contacts in his or her address book on the phone who have installed the same application. And with more extensive engagement between users in user-created WhatsApp group, it acquires a healthy share in mobile space usage. From this criteria, WhatsApp group became a social media used for teaching. WhatsApp Messenger, a mobile application that employs user existing internet data plan to help them network with others. It is used for sending and receiving message, video, and audio message. It has spread mostly among young people who are students and use it as an entertainment and funny tool. They largely depend on it to know a lot of news around the world. Besides, they may help them in their learning through exchanging information needed in learning English language since it is used by most of the students. It provides access to learning research when teachers and students are separated by time and distance. All smartphones possess a WhatsApp feature, but some teachers explanation that there is WhatsApp free or off credit. WhatsApp free of credit means that even though the student didn't have any credit on their phone, teacher and student are still be able to communicate on the WhatsApp. In this case, they could submit the task even must be in long time. But again, even the students have WhatsApp free. For students who study in rural area, it need give any influence them since signal become an obstacle. WhatsApp group plays as a better application than others to be used in teaching during pandemic because it has some benefit and easiness for teachers and students. To build student spirit and have good motivation in remote learning, teachers must create the interesting content of learning in WhatsApp to support their willingness to study more and more. And for the conclusion, social media support teaching learning process in remote learning with all weakness and strength, but teachers can be strong with their good capability in distant teaching. WhatsApp group became a proper solution for English teachers in Lebak Regency since it had easiness to apply. Even though WhatsApp became the solution in distant teaching, there were some areas which were still difficult of signal, connectivity. Some students didn't have smartphone, even credits around the internet. Those obstacles could be solved by approaching a student with teacher strategies like visiting home or calling the student to ask the condition and submit a task. Teachers, parents, and students must have good cooperation, running distant learning in difficult situation, that is COVID-19 outbreak, to support students keep learning at home happily and full of responsible. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, that's all my explanation about the research. I hope it will give some good information to you and for doing the research in the future. Again, thank you so much. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.